Hello, wildlings. I'm your Creepsmith, and you found my Fear Forge. Lucky you. Today's confusing computing conundrum: delete. It started with my friend in Japan. He was a hacker, always leaving his computer on, along with his AIM and MSN. When he logged out on both of them, I assumed that his computer had finally died from just overload. Then, I noticed all his posts on our favorite sites were gone. All his accounts, all his videos, all his comments. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. My name is Nathan, and I'm a shut-in. Agoraphobia. I live in North Carolina, and I program for a living. My sister does the shopping for me. I live in a basement, no windows. That might very well be the only thing that's keeping me safe right now. I woke up a month ago at 3 a.m., went and sat down at my desk ready to work a bit, but mostly to chat. That's when I noticed Chaos Sirida was gone. I don't know his real name, so please don't bother asking. Besides some spelling issues, he was a fairly good English speaker, and I enjoyed talking to him. He knew everything about computers, too, stuff that I had no idea even existed. That's why I wasn't worried at the time. It was well within his expertise to hack into sites and delete his own posts. I'd assumed that he'd gotten sick of the internet. I mean, he'd been complaining about it for years. I tried discussing his disappearance with a mutual friend. He seemed confused, like he was forgetting who Chaos had been. This friend was really old, so I worried about his mental health anyway. I decided to just let it go, talk about sports a bit. By this time, 3 or 4 people had stopped logging on. Not the most unusual thing in the world. I mean, people get busy sometimes or just didn't feel like talking. Only their posts and their accounts disappeared as well. Now, it had been a couple of days since Chaos went missing, and I was getting fairly freaked out, so I turned off the computer and watched television for a while. And that's when it got scary. One of our local news anchors was gone. The other would sometimes look over to the spot where her partner should be and look confused for a while, only to return to speaking as usual. A local show called Three Sisters or something was now 2 sisters. And yes, the third sister was actually gone as well. As with the news, sometimes there would be times where it was obvious the third sister was important, and for a moment everyone would stop and they'd seem to remember for a second, but then they just went on and kept acting. A cooking show was just showing the studio with no host, no chef, nothing. Now, I'm a rational man, or at least I like to think I am. I was quick to rationalize practically everything. The news anchor wasn't used to working alone while her partner was sick, and the show with the sisters, that was part of one of the plots that I didn't know because I didn't actually watch the show. The cooking show? That was harder to explain. Maybe they left the camera running while they had to leave for some reason and the network guys just didn't notice? I had calmed myself down and decided to watch something else, so I got a TV guide out that my sister had gotten me and flipped through it. That's when I noticed the freakiest thing yet. The 2 Stooges. I stared blankly at the name, squished between an old Britcom and one of those shows about how great the 50s were. It was soon to start, so I flipped over to the channel, and sure enough, the title screen actually said 2 stooges. This had to be some kind of a joke or a ripoff, but no, the bit started the same way I remembered it, only with a stooge down. No Larry. I freaked out and turned off the TV. So, here I am. It's been a month, and around 100 people are missing that I know of. My sister's gone as well, and I'm posting this in every site I can, hopefully reaching as many people as I can. If you can notice people missing as well, my name's Nate Creek, and I live in a small town in North Carolina. Please PM me as soon as possible. Hey, Bob? Bob, can you help me out here? The man stared at the computer screen, furrowing his eyebrows. What do you want, Jim? Bob walked over to him, a bored look on his face. One of the AIs has, a glitch. How so? Well, I deleted several of the others and an entertainment pack so I could install the new versions, but this AI didn't delete its memories, and it's panicking. I thought it was the lack of support AI because I had deleted the sister file as well, but the memory logs show it started much sooner than that. He's been at his computer for hours now. What's he doing? Working? Creative writing? Autobiographical diary, it says. I thought we didn't install that module on this one. It's probably just a glitch of some sort. Just delete it and do a clean install with the others. Jim sighed. Yeah, but I kinda like this one. It's just a program, Jim. It's not like it's sentient. Jim watched the visual representation of Nate_Creek_5 type furiously. Yeah, I guess you're right, Bob. Jim right-clicked the AI and chose delete. The Blind Maiden Website by Space Maniac 888. There is a website that offers its users the choice to experience the ultimate horror. This website, called blindmaiden.com, is supposedly a site dedicated to a doomed spirit that will enter the home of people who have viewed it. However, no matter how hard you try, your browser won't allow you to enter the site. You see, to access this site, you must wait until exactly midnight, making sure that the night in question is a new moon night. You must be in your own home with all of your lights turned off. Only when these conditions are met will you be granted access to the site. As soon as you enter, you will see a montage of pictures being displayed, very quickly. These images are of boys and girls without eyes and faces that are twisted in tremendous fear, and after that, text will appear on the monitor saying this website will take you to a whole new level of fear, a horror that will use all 5 of your senses. You must be very careful not to click on anything by accident. You will be faced with a real experience of absolute horror. Click the accept button to engage actively in the experience, and below will be a bar with both the accept and decline buttons. If you click decline, you will be rewarded with access to the entire archive of these gruesome images. A gore site, pretty much. Click accept, however, and there will be no turning back. You will have sealed your fate, and trust me, you will experience the ultimate horror. Upon accepting, you will see a sinister silhouette walking toward your home on your monitor. The spirit will then approach and enter the same room you're in. You will then see your own back on the monitor and you will feel a presence behind you. And suddenly, you will feel someone tapping on your shoulder. But as you turn around, you will see the blind maiden's face and scream in terror, and that will be the last thing you will do, as she will then kill you. The blind maiden will then pluck out your eyes and take a photo of your face. And congratulations, you have successfully completed the ritual, and as a reward, that photo will forever be a part of the website's picture gallery, just like all the other photos of all the other people who were stupid or curious enough to press the accept button. And yes, if you are a thrill seeker or suicidal, then you will love the last few moments of your life. Tonight's creepy chronological conundrum: the safe. Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night or randomly checked your watch in the daytime to see the same time over and over again? For me, it's 11:17. I'd say that 1 out of every 3 times I check my watch, that's the time, 11:17. You may have another one like 3:33 or 12:50. If you don't have one, count your blessings. Just stop reading here. But if you do have a time that you can't seem to shake, you might want to finish this and follow the instructions. First, and it could be a pain in the ass, find the place where you were born. The more specific, the better. The exact room if you can, but sometimes what you're looking for can wander a bit. Search the room and the surrounding area thoroughly. You should eventually find a safe with a 4-digit keypad combination. You know which 4 digits to enter. Use a 0 if your hour is below 10. Inside, you should find a manila envelope. Take it out, and be careful to note its surprisingly heavy weight because you don't want to accidentally drop it. With the envelope in hand, get out of there and make sure that no one saw you. Once you're in a safe place, open up the envelope. You should find an external hard drive and 2 smaller envelopes inside. One is labeled Photos. Open that up and you'll find a series of Polaroid pictures documenting your life story. Each one will have a date and a brief description printed in the white space below the picture. You'll never have seen these pictures before or have any recollection of anyone ever taking them. The pictures will often appear to have been taken from secluded areas, as though a stalker took them. Be very careful when looking through these photos that you don't look at any photographs beyond the date you look at them, because they are there, and the future is not meant to be known. The other envelope is labeled Certificates. It's nowhere near as thick as the Photos envelope. I would advise you against looking through this altogether, as it will contain all legal documents from your entire life, from your birth certificate to marriage licenses, every driver's license, business license, traffic ticket, or birth certificate that has your name listed under mother or father. Of utmost warning, it will also contain your death certificate. Now, to do the most important part of this, you'll need to obtain a cheap computer that you won't feel too badly about parting with, and a high-quality printer that's full of toner and ink and paper, with extras as needed to replace. Make sure that the printer drivers are installed properly. Don't plug the hard drive in until you're completely ready to print out all the information you find on it, and most importantly, do not connect the computer to the internet. If the computer has wireless capabilities, don't just turn them off, remove them. It needs to be physically impossible for this machine to connect with the internet on its own. Now, once you've plugged the hard drive in, don't do anything on the computer. That hard drive has software that will take control from here on out. if you followed the instructions precisely. The printer should be spewing out pages like mad. There'll be blueprints, schematics, mathematical formulae that most people don't have the capacity to understand. I certainly didn't. If the printer runs out of paper before it's finished, be sure to load more in. You'll know when it's finished because the computer will shut down and never turn on again. And the final printed page will say end of instruction set. Then below that, it'll provide an IP address. Go to that IP address in your web browser. It'll prompt you for your 4-digit password. From there, further instructions will be given. There are about a dozen of us who have followed these instructions so far, and comparing our printouts shows that each hard drive only contained a piece of the whole. We don't know how many more pieces there are out there or whether anyone has duplicates, but we're pretty sure that we've been given partial schematics for a working time machine, one that all of us are destined to construct. I've never been brave enough to look at the photos and documents of my future, but others of us have taken the plunge. They claim that every time they look at one of their future pictures, the photo will change, and sometimes the number of photos changes altogether. Now, just as one final warning, destroy the hard drive when you're finished. It's unlike anything any of us have ever seen before, and it seems to be able to turn itself on without an external power source at all. I didn't wait around to see if mine made any noises, but the reports from the others say that at night it seems to whisper to them. So stay scary, wildlings, and make the most of your nights.